Okay, time for some homework hints. In this first question, we are given JM is parallel to KN. They actually marked it for us with those arrows. Those are, let's highlight them. They're giving us that these are parallel. But we don't have any alternate interior because there's nothing on the alternating side or exterior. We do have some corresponding. And we don't actually even have same side interior. Corresponding is our only option. So this set of parallels does tell us that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. They're corresponding angles. But we know that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. So if we linked these together, we could say 2 is congruent to 3. Just kind of thinking out loud right here. But then my other given says 3 is congruent to 4. So I could keep linking things, and this is what can happen. And then they're asking us to prove that KM is parallel to LN. Well, 2 and 4 is actually quite helpful because those are, in fact, corresponding angles for these red lines. So this proof, my big hint to you is transitive and look for some corresponding angles. No skeleton this time. That's all I've got for you. The second proof, we are given that angle 1 is congruent to angle 2. And we are given that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Well, if 1 matches 2 and 1 matches 3, we put that together. 2 must be congruent to 3. They are asking us to prove that AB is parallel to DC. And 2 and 3, they give us that nice backward Z shape, which means they are alternate interiors, which means I can get these lines parallel. Let's see if you can turn that into a complete and correct proof. Number 3, L is parallel to M. We have two transversals. They're telling us that angle 1 is congruent to angle 3. Because they're giving us angle 1, I'm going to start on this transversal because that's the transversal angle 1 is on. Based on the green parallels, I know angle 1 is matching angle 2. And that is because they are corresponding. Again, I focused on that transversal in angle 1 because they gave me angle 1 right here. Now if I link these two, I get angle 2 is congruent to angle 3. Let's see if that's helpful. They're asking me to prove that R is parallel to P. Do 2 and 3 help? Sure do. Those are alternate exterior angles. So there's more than one way to do this proof, but these tips should help you with one successful method. Give it a try. And last but not least, lots of words, several lines, but let's see if we can do it. Angle 1 is congruent to angle 4. Great. I'll tell you right now, as soon as I read that, I actually know that L has to be parallel to N, just to point it out, because 1 and 4 are alternate interiors, so we can have those parallels if we wanted to. 3 and 4 are supplementary. So if 1 and 4 are the same and 3 and 4 are supplementary, we could use some fancy substitution to get that 3 and 1 are supplementary. But is that helpful? My goal is to prove L is parallel to M. 1 and 3, they are not one of my special angle relationships. They're not alternate interior or exterior. We could get 1 and 3 supplementary, but that's not helpful because we want same side interior, which means we need 1 and 2 to be supplementary. But since 2 matches 3 and 4 matches 1, we can get angle 2 and 1 supplementary. But my tips, you are not allowed to use substitution unless you have an equal sign. So you need to turn this into an equation with an equal sign, and you need to turn this into an equation with an equal sign. And these are sample solutions, sample tips, not the way to do these questions, but they are a way that works. So please give these hints a try. I know I'm not giving you a full skeleton, but I want to see what you can do with these tips that aren't quite as clear as the previous ones.